Hi, it's Hannah. Welcome to a wrap-up. This is going to be for January, February, March, April, May, and June. So 3 months. All the books I read in spring, I guess. First up, in April, we have These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. Loved this book. I gave it a 4 out of 5. It was great. The setting, immaculate. Her writing, it's like, okay. The romance, not the biggest fan of it because like it wasn't like romance heavy and I'm not really into enemies to lovers, but like at the same time there's a lot of development and like this tension going on between the main characters and I'm like, okay, I'm sort of vibing. After that, Buddy read Tweet Cute with Riya and Sarah. It's cute. Didn't serve too much. Very traumatic to be reading about college applications after you submit your college applications. That's like my main issue. The relationship was okay. It wasn't like my favorite YA romance novel, but it did its job. I bet you read Faker by Sarah Smith with Pooja. Absolute disaster. The Hating Game 2.0. But instead of like being hyper fixated on how tall the male love interest is, the female love interest hyper fixates on how white he is, which was just a little weird, you know? I wasn't really vibing with that. It was also like a instant kind of love. They made out and then all of a sudden they're in love and I was just like, questionable. Anyways, I gave this 1 star and it also landed itself on my books that deserve 0 stars shelf on Goodreads. Mortal Coil, the 5th book in the Skullduggery Pleasant series by Landy. 3 stars. It was solid, wasn't great. I don't even think I could tell you what even happened in this book. I think I honestly forgot like all the characters before I read this book and I was like, Yasmin, who the hell are these people? And she was like, there's just too many characters for me to keep track of in this series and it's just not happening. It's really not happening. Then we get to May where we have our Asian readathon. You can see pretty much everything that I read in like my vlogs, but we have The Best We Could Do by the boy, Know My Name by Chanel Miller, We Hunt the Flame by Hafsah Faizal. What author? Am I missing a book? I have no idea anymore.
So I did forget a book. I forgot to mention Rent a Boyfriend by Gloria Chao. It's a new adult romance. She basically hires a boyfriend to introduce her parents because she doesn't want to get married to this absolute douchebag. You know, that's like one of my favorite tropes. They're really cute together. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. The book is pretty clean and it is a little on the longer side for a romance. It is a fun read, but it does have some heavier moments.
Okay, but like those are all the books that I read for the Asian readathon. Know My Name, 5 out of 5. Loved it. Emotional, heartbreaking. Everybody should read it, but like also be emotionally prepared for that. Know My Name, I buddy read with Dana and Yasmin. Best We Could Do, also pretty emotional, heartbreaking. It details like the immigrant experience, especially like the Vietnamese immigrant experience, refugee of war, dealing with all the wars and the revolutions that Vietnam has gone through. The art was pretty great too. We Hunt the Flame, I gave 3 stars. I have no idea what happened in that book. Again, like I don't understand fantasy. It just does not click in my brain. You make up words, I do not understand any of them, and then I just get confused. But it's okay because I'm going to be reading We Free the Stars. I'm gonna be reading that. I'm gonna make my way through. It's gonna be okay. I did not like the romance in We Hunt the Flame. Like I just felt like it was very unnecessary, very out of place for me. After that was People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I gave this 5 stars. I feel like if I read it again, I wouldn't give it 5 stars, but at the time it like filled a need I had for a good romance. So a good summer romance too. So this one really just amazing. Loved it. Also, the relationship was pretty cute. I can see like the criticisms about how it was a little repetitive. The vacations weren't distinct enough, but I personally liked it. It was more of a beach read than beach read was, and that was exactly what I was looking for. I was looking for something light, fun, and I also love Friends to Lovers, so it worked out for me. After that, I buddy read Get a Life Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert with Riya and Sarah. It was great, a little too explicit for me, so I gave it 4 stars because I wasn't really vibing with how in your face some of the sex scenes were. It was cute, I liked it, I liked the relationship. And then I read Maybe You Should Talk to Someone, a therapist, her therapist, and Our Lives Revealed. I gave this a 5 out of 5. I personally love her patience, like her stories about her patience, amazing. There's so much wisdom and so much to be learned from the lives that they are living and like the lessons that they have to learn in order to like, I guess, better their lives. On like the opposite end of the spectrum, we have Deathbringer, the 6th book in the Skullduggery Pleasant series by Landy. Again, Skullduggery Pleasant is sort of not my favorite This one had like weird romance elements, and I just felt like it was very unnecessary. I think in this one, Valkyrie's like literally cheating on her boyfriend with a vampire who's hundreds of years older than her. Like, some of the things that he's saying, it just gives off toxic. It gives off abusive vibes. Girl, get yourself out of this situation. I could not tell you what's happening in this book. The only thing that my mind actually grasped was the relationship drama, and I did not like the relationship drama, so it got 2 stars. And then after that, I read Ice Planet Barbarians, the first book in the Ice Planet Barbarians series by Ruby Dixon, an actual mess. It lived up to expectations though, because my expectations were really low. It's just porn without plot. Alien smut. Tall, blue alien smut. And if that floats your boat, go for it. Obviously, this is written for someone and it has a target audience. I'm just not that target audience, but I will continue to be reading it because for some reason it gets me out of a reading slump. After that, I read the Keys to Love series by Priscilla Oliveras. So I read Island Affair and Anchored Hearts. Island Affair follows Sarah and Luis, while Anchored Hearts follows, I think her name is Ana Maria and Alejandro. I'm pretty sure those are the people's names. I gave both of these books 3 stars. I had expected, you know, maybe not get a Life Chloe Brown type smut, but like I expected just a little, like something for me to chew on, and it was a fade to black romance. But both of them are giving the summer vibes, the island life. I'm happy about that, and I won't really fault the book for not being as explicit as I wanted it to be. Yeah, I was just expecting a little more in the spice, in the steam department. I listened on audiobook. This is like the only audiobook I've listened to this year so far. Hani and Ishu's Guide to Fake Dating by Adiba Jaigirdar. This was a buddy read with Yasmin and Dana. If you haven't watched Yasmin's video, go watch it. She was like, Hannah chose this book because she wanted to read a romance, and Dana and I are nice people. I will take some fault for the disaster that was us buddy reading this book, but it wasn't horrible. I gave it 3 stars. It was just like not my vibe. Like, you just power through. You listen to it on 2 times speed. The Irish accents sound all funny. I still do want to read more queer romances because this is my first queer romance. But this just was not it for me. It had a lot of the tropes that I liked, but it just didn't deliver. I read Barbarian Alien, which is the second book in the Ice Planet Barbarian series. Again, it's a 1-star read, although this one was funnier, and I liked this one more than I liked Ice Planet Barbarians, because the main character, she actually has like a brain for the first half, and then like, but when she starts hooking up with her alien dude, like her brain goes out the window. I read The Initial Insult by Mindy McGinnis. Did not like this. I struggled through this book. I ended up reading like literally 3 romance novels while reading The Initial Insult, which, let me just say, a little bit of an issue. It has like 3 perspectives. One of the perspectives I think was just like absolutely useless. Like, it didn't add anything to the book. It just made it more convoluted, and it made it longer than it had to be. It's basically just about like revenge. It's a revenge story, like build up all that suspense, but it kept jumping around in time, and I started losing interest every time it built suspense. This book is just not my vibe. I was really close to DNFing it, but I didn't. Those are all the books that I've read in April, May, and June. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Stay fresh, and I will catch you next time.